My name is Peter Wexberg. I go by the name Peter Wolf, after my favorite dog, who was part wolf, who saved my 2 children. So that's why I use the name Wolf. I was born deaf and have been ever since. My life has been excellent. I've got a great wife, Margaret, who interprets. Go to sign language class and enjoy that, but it's just now sad about how deaf people are really being oppressed all over. It's unbelievable. In regards to CLU, I've been there since 1977. I remember I started, I think there were 5 students, and then soon it grew, and I told CLU that I wasn't interested in part-time, and they said that, well, if I expand my classes with more students, they'll expand me to full-time. And then my wait lists were huge. I had a 47 student wait list, you know, with 50 in the class. It was just so many wanted to take it, but nope, sorry. Deaf people had asked how I was doing there at Cal Lutheran, and I mentioned, you know, feeling a bit discriminated against, but I kept teaching. And a lot of these students, you know, go on to become very successful, deaf studies majors, interpreters. I remember one student was a successful courtroom interpreter. Many of them get good jobs, and I've really enjoyed that. I love CLU. You know, I should have quit years ago, not having full-time, but the problem was I just loved the students. I loved the atmosphere and the campus, and I enjoyed the students. For so many years, I was thinking about, you know, they're not giving me full-time and the way they look at me, and I thought, am I going to be fired? And then surprisingly they did. And finding that they're getting rid of sign language classes all over, and I'm one of them. So I've done some research, and I found that in the graduate program, they got $1.2 million from the Department of Special Education, and now I understand. The graduate program is against ASL. They support the cochlear implants, and that, you know, the implant cost was $100,000 surgery, and when the doctors decide to do an implant, you know, it's $100 grand. Of course the doctor's excited about the money, and now they're not looking for sign language, they're looking for oralism. Oralism has been a failure. I didn't learn sign language until I was 7. Before that, I was in oral schools. They used pliers on my tongue. They'd slap me, they'd hit me. If I just gestured to point to something, I'd get hit with a ruler. I wasn't allowed to use sign language. They would put me in the black box, a closed closet. But what about the deaf children? They get cochlear implants, and then they're not allowed to read lips. And they're not allowed to use sign language. This baby with the implant is going to grow up with problems. You know, now they're finding out they're slow learners because the swelling of the brain from the implant hits the brainstem, and now they're finding that these students, as they grow up, have learning disabilities. Normal hearing people, when we hear the channels, the frequencies, all the channels which go up to the brain, apparently we have 6,000 channels, but with an implant, you're limited to 22. If you're to watch a monitor, only open 22 pixels. Try to figure out what the picture is and then pull that away. Now I can see. They activate it. And you get that stimulus. You see pictures online, people crying, saying they can hear and all that. They all think that way when they first get this stimulus. They think, oh, I'm hearing, but it's not true. It's an experience, it's stimulation. It's a signal they're receiving, but not spoken language, not like what you hear. It's a failure. All the advertising is saying cochlear implants are successful are all based on lies. Deaf people all over are starting to complain now because they're being stripped of their American Sign Language, and they're furious about this.
Peter really, he sticks up for deaf culture more than I think a hearing person would in the same circumstances. He's really kind of a guardian for deaf culture. He stands up against cochlear implants and all the issues that arise from those, and he teaches hearing people about kind of the issues that they face in their everyday life.
I like sign language because it gives you more communication with the deaf. A lot of people don't really try to talk to them, so when we do talk to them, they appreciate us for taking sign language.
Sign language is so very free. It's fine. We need a strong leadership in the deaf community. We do have deaf leaders, but the media doesn't seem to care. We need a hearing person with a strong voice, an advocate of ASL. Once you understand sign language, it turns into so much fun with signing and expression. The physicality of the expression, I just love to watch it. We need someone with a heart